Or when you have let's say we have, like in the iRobot situation, where you have a robot that is capable of helping people and it's self-automated in some way, but it has to make a decision on who lives and who dies in this situation, because it physically can only save one living being at this time, at this moment. Who does it save?
Right. Well, people that are developing cars, like automatic cars, are making those decisions right now.
Yeah. Which is some nutty shit.
Just calculate, the value of human life.
It could find itself in a position where there will be a death, but how can I minimize them? And should I take a perceived age or like other potentially perceived information from the individuals to make that choice? Who has the right to make those choices? Type of challenges.
Yeah, no, and see, that's where like I like to think that I could hide behind the idea of like, well, if we just use enough numbers, we'll figure out, the correct answers. If we have all of the numbers on things, we'll know what the correct answer is and who we should save in that situation. However, that's also a very slippery slope to, what is it? I was just following orders.
Yeah.
If by just using the numbers, or to just, well, it was the law. The law makes it legal, so therefore, doing these atrocities to people can't be wrong because the numbers agree with it. And so that's where it's like, it's a slippery slope to that.
It's like, well, what kinds of people are going to qualify for this program? Well, if your score is this,
Click below to subscribe. The one subject I've been wanting to think about a little bit and talk out is, I don't know much about it, but I'm interested in just like how an ant colony works, or just how organisms that kind of dedicate themselves to a larger collective more intensely than humans do, right? Like, because our experience is like we dedicate things to like the bigger whole, but like we're still like selfish creatures and very egoistic creatures.
We're individuals.
But it's the concept of like herd thinking and how that where that's been taken to extremes in the animal kingdom is something I'd like to explore.
Like the acquisition and the maximizing of resources up for the organism, like that flies, and that's like one of like the basic tenets of evolution, and right. Like the whole existence of a colony kind of like flies in the face of that.
Right, and so it's like kind of seems like really hard embedded instincts almost, right?
I don't know. I don't really.
But like, let's even think about it like in the human perspective of just like if you've ever been to a sports game, just like the herd mentality that takes place at a sports game is like interesting and it's like fun to participate in, even, right? And it's just like. Like, have you ever been to a sports game where you just like are like raging with like positive and booze as well, like with the silliest of like actual reality that's happening, like someone trips over a ball,
Like the wave is a great example of that. Like nobody ever fucking does that outside of a stadium, pretty much.
Right.
But that's one of those mob mentality things. You see a group of people stand up and sit down with their arms doing the thing, fucking everybody starts doing it now. Yeah,
within the right, even cultural circumstances, like we can become more, I don't know if agreeable is the right word, but just more willing to replicate what's happening around us. And I think when thinking through those things with humans, it helps to like think about I'm sure there's good examples in the bird branch of life too, and other animals that like move in herds.
I mean, like fucking animals share. I mean, like it's not like only ants share, but typically the idea.
You don't think ants is like a really good example?
So the the example ants works when it comes to different colonies.
Right.
Then the evolution still makes sense, And then when sharing works like within a pride, but then it makes sense when the lions don't share with the hyenas,
Right. Because it perpetuates their existence. That makes sense.
Correct. And it is only so large. Their capacity to understand the reward for the giving up instant gratification for a delayed reward isn't so complex and dynamic as ours, but it's present,
Yeah.
I mean, some chimpanzees share and they reinforce, behaviors that contribute. They'll share food with those who help on the hunt and stuff, and they won't share with those who don't help. And there is all that present, but there actually have been instances of colonies of ants not commingling, but coexisting.
Inside the same built structures, really close to each other.
In near proximity, within the proximity where other ants have been observed to fight each other.
Okay, but still segregated as colonies.
Segregated as separate colonies, but still tolerate each other's existence and almost even share with them. Yeah, I vaguely remember that from a systems class, but I just remember that one interesting bit that they had found instances of multiple colonies working together.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool, though.
I forget exactly what the effect. There was I forget what the advantage of having multiple ants colonies around was, but there was some benefit that became apparent from allowing them to exist there, and if they weren't there, then it would have meant death for that colony.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember what it was.
Like a different type of prey they were able to take on or something?
I don't know exactly what it was. Yeah, I can't tell you. Most interesting podcast ever.
That's right. But I think in other places in the animal kingdom, they probably use herd mentality as a way of communication almost. I can imagine just the animals that the bovines or the sheep, even the herbivores that are kind of pack animals, deer, right, trying to not be eaten by predators. And there could be 200 of them in a field, and not everyone needs to see the threat to know that they need to run this way.
Yeah.
Right? And so the herd's able to mobilize quicker. An idea has been communicated through action, and it's just something they've done through generations.
I've always marveled at the fact that when something happens in an ant nest, the ants stop what they're doing and then they address it and then they go back. They don't bicker and fight over what the best solution of what to do is. They just go and they handle it.
Creeper gets in your Minecraft base, right? Or explodes already, right? You need to put your current product on pause and put your walls back together.
Exactly. You don't create a committee.
Yeah, say as if it was left to politics, they'd create a committee of people who should deal with the creeper, and by the time they came to even close to a decision, it would have already exploded.
Yeah, we need inspectors, and we need inspectors for inspectors.
Yeah, we need someone to train the person who's going to kill the thing. It's like, wait, what?